What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Variant Live. Hope you all had a fun weekend. I know Variant Lives are usually supposed to be on Mondays, but yesterday, truthfully, was just crazy. Just got, honestly, we just got behind with writing new episodes and stuff like that. But the point is, we're here now talking to you about all the, not all the comic news. That would be a very long on-air chat, but some of the highlights of comic book news that came out this past week. Some like, several ones just plucked out. It's like, yeah, that's cool to talk about. Anyway, let's start this off the same way we do every week, and that's with some anime, because who doesn't like some anime? I know most of you like anime. I'm really into anime more and more lately. This is why we're doing this to talk about it. Anyway, as you guys know, I feel like a broken record when I say this every week, but I have to say it because some of you are probably watching for the first time, so I have to repeat myself. Anyway, as you guys know, since we've been doing Variant Live, we've been watching a new anime. We started off with Attack on, not, we didn't start off with Attack on Titan. That's what we're currently on. We started off with My Hero Academia. That went really well. I love this series like a lot. It's actually probably it's top three animes for me ever right now. You guys really seem to enjoy it, so we're like, let's continue. Let's do this with a new series, and we put up to a vote. You guys voted for the next series to watch week to week is Attack on Titan. So that's what we're currently doing. We're watching two episodes every week of the first season of Attack on Titan. This past week we watched episode 7 and 8. If you guys already seen it, that's awesome. You already know way more than I do because I'm only on episode 8, meaning I have episode 9 and 10 to watch for next week. But if you guys haven't watched it or need a way to watch it, as you guys know or don't know, we are very good friends with people over at Verve, VRV, and we have a deal with them going on, a nice little partnership. You get a free 30-day ad-free trial of their premium membership, meaning no ads, and you could watch any content they have on their website for 30 days with no ads. It's basically the Netflix of anime, essentially. Dragon Ball Super, One Punch Man, Attack on Titan, hundreds, if not thousands, of different things to watch, probably more like thousands. Link for that is in the description below, and then you could watch along with us every week. But with that said, this past week we watched episodes 7 and 8. And if you guys remember, last week we left off with, again, there's going to be spoilers for this. I want to warn you guys, if you haven't seen Attack on Titan, this is spoiler territory right now. I'm going to be talking about deaths, character reveals, all that stuff. So if you haven't seen Attack on Titan, this is your warning. With that said, last week, the last two episodes we watched, the main character, Aaron, dead, gone. He got eaten by a Titan. And if you guys remember, you watched last week, I was very shocked by that. I was like, "Are you kidding me? They literally killed off the main character of the series. They're like Game of Thrones it. They're like Game of Thrones, like all over the place. Like, how are you gonna kill the main character like 6 episodes into the series? Like, he's literally the guy who narrates the beginning of the episode and pretty much narrates all of the show, gone, dead. First, the Titan bit off his leg, then a Titan bit off his arm and swallowed him right in front of his friend Armin, and it was really gross. Awesome, but cool. I keep saying it every week. This show is like I'm really enjoying it, but the more and more I'm watching it, I'm like, wow. For some reason, you know what it is? I think it's me personally. It's hitting a chord for me for some reason. It creeps me out, maybe just more on a personal level, because these Titans are so freaking weird. Because what's creepier to me is when you're not like rah scary like creepy. It's just like they have like this blank happy face while they eat people, where they're kind of like and it's just like, wow, you're happy to be doing this. It's just, I don't know, it's just creepier. And they show like the people scream, or you hear the people screaming. They show them biting off their heads, their limbs. It's good, but it's just like, that's horrible. I don't want to live in this world. But the story is very entertaining. I am enjoying it a lot. But that's how we left off last week. That the Titans or a Titan ate the main character, and I was like, no way. Which left one of the other lead characters, to kind of take over. Where Armin, you thought Armin was going to be like the new guy and whatnot, but the new chick, the new lady, that's the tough girl that everyone's talking about in the series is I believe her name is Misaka. Misaka, yes, Misaka, where she's just like an awesome BA. Her character is pretty cool. I'm almost kind of okay that they killed Aaron, because while I liked Aaron, um, he was kind of annoying. I said that before, where I had like a love hate relationship with him, where he was just annoying in the sense where he was like almost too motivational. It was like too extreme, and he was whiny a lot. But then he was really cool because you did like his motivation, because he's like, no, guys, you can't give up. We got to beat these guys. Like, I don't just want to live like, and get by. Like, I want to live a normal life without these Titans theirs, and we needed to kill them. So I like that aspect of him. But I was kind of 50-50 because he was also kind of annoying. With that said, Misaka was awesome. Her backstory that they revealed the last two episodes was really cool. She's just a really cool character, like her whole thing, and she's tough, awesome, whatever. Anyway, with episode 7, it kind of picks up with she's now the charge. You know, she's leading the charge and stuff like that, and all their I forget what they call them, but like those little vine things that shoot from the holsters in their legs, you know, that make them zip around like they're Spider-Man. They're controlled by gas. Basically, at this point, they're all out there. They successfully defended everyone, but a lot of the soldiers died unfortunately in doing so, and they're running out of gas for those little packs on their thighs, on their legs. They'll make them zip around like Spidey. So once they run out of gas, they're not mobile anymore. So they're trying to get to one of the headquarters where there's refills essentially, but they can't get there without being eaten by Titan. So the whole seventh episode kind of deals with that, with them trying to get there. Obviously, they do get there because I mean that's just how it has to go. There's some casualties along the way. Luckily, Misaka and Armin did not die. I kind of like Armin. He's like the big chicken. He doesn't want to fight. He's a smart guy. He doesn't want to fight. Doesn't want to do anything. It's the blonde kid who's the smarty pants. Uh, but I like kind of his perspective, just being like, because in real life, I would imagine there would be someone that it's like, I'm not, no way, I don't want to die. So it's cool to, even if he's annoying, it's cool to have that type of character and see their perspective. Anyway, I believe it was the end of the seventh episode. We see that one of the Titans, one of the big reveals, is one of the Titans, which they call abnormals, is what they decided to call Titans that are just weird and do different things. But this Titan with long brown or black hair is attacking other Titans and killing them and beating them. And they're all like, "What the heck? We've never seen this before. In all the years, we've never seen another Titan attack another Titan." And he's going to town the other Titan. So they're like, "Okay." Armin's like, all right, guys, we could use this to our advantage. Maybe we could lure him to follow us or show him where the other Titans are next to the headquarters so we could kill them and then we can get our gas for our tanks and then we could be mobile again." And they're all like, "That's a terrible idea." And Misaka's like, "No, that's actually a pretty good idea." And everyone listens to her because she's awesome and she's like kicking butts more so than anyone else on on the team. Uh, so they finally do it. It works. That's Titan beats up everyone and all that stuff. And by this point, you're in episode 8. So I'm talking about this as it's like one long episode. By this point, you're in episode 8. Um, and the Titans beating up everyone. They refill all their gas tanks. They think of a plan to kill all the Titans in the bottom of the base so they can get out. They find like some old muskets. They shoot them. They cut their necks because that's how you kill a Titan. The only way to kill a Titan, because they could regenerate. So the only way to actually kill a Titan is by giving a deep incision in the back of their neck, which cuts like some, I guess, a spinal cord or something. That's the only way to kill them. A very deep cut right here. So they do that, and then they see that the Titan that helped them uh, beat all get there, the one that they lured there, is dying. Essentially, all the other Titans are attacking him. They're like, "No, we should help him," and some of the crowd's like, "No, we shouldn't because he's still a Titan. Why would we help that guy?" Long story short, um, he dies or whatnot. His arms get eaten off, falls to the ground, and as he's dying, and some of them are kind of sad, like Misaka's kind of sad and whatnot, because like he helped us. We could have used him to to give us an upper hand on this whole Titan thing. Like we could have kind of manipulated him or just used him as a tool to beat all the other Titans, and maybe we would have got ahead for the first time in like years or centuries. Anyway, he dies. They're looking at him, and then I was kind of thinking it the whole time, like, and just revealed that what I was thinking was true. Once he dies, and his back kind of opens up, and you see that Aaron is inside him, and it's implied that Aaron it was somehow controlling him, controlling this massive like Titan, and that's why this Titan was killing other Titans because it was Aaron controlling him somehow. Not only that, when they pulled him out of like this Titan's body, because he was kind of like literally like if I was a Titan, let's say yeah, here there we go. If I was a Titan, Thanos is Aaron, I would have been like in here, right? And somehow he was like controlling him like that, right? So when he melts and he pulls him out, he now has his leg back and he now has his arm back. And Armin is even like, "What the heck? How the heck did you grow your arm and leg back? How is that a thing? He literally killed you. You bit off your leg, bit off your arm. You were dead. He swallowed you. But not only are you alive now because they hear his heartbeat, even though he's unconscious, but he's still alive because heartbeat. But like, not only that, your arm's back and your leg's back." So he picks up his hand and he's like, "Oh my god, how is this possible?" And then the episode ends, and that's where I left off. Talk about a cliffhanger. So I really badly wanted to continue watching the next episode or so because I just needed to know, but I didn't because Want to watch it, do it properly and do two every week with you guys. But that's where I left off, and that's a heck of a cliffhanger. I'm just very curious to see where it's gonna go from here, because I mean, they kind of alluded to it, because you're kind of thinking, you're like, okay, because the Titan even looked a little bit like Aaron in the sense with like the hair and stuff. So again, that was my guess, but it was just crazy that that's what it was. So I'm like, okay, so one, how did he survive being eaten by a Titan? Two, how did he grow his leg and arm back? So I'm very curious to see what's going to be unveiled and then unveiled. That's not a word. Unveiled in the next episode. But that's where we're at as of now, guys. If that sounds interesting to you, again, you could sign up for Verve and watch it for 30 days. You can watch the whole series in 30 days if you really want to. Link for that is in the description below. You'll get a free 30-day ad-free trial, because Verve likes Variant and we like them and we all like you. So sign up and you can watch 30 days of ad-free anime. But with that said, moving out into some comic book news, what's been on everyone's minds is Shazam. Everyone is very excited for Shazam. That is one of the next DCEU movies coming out. Obviously, Aquaman's coming out before that, but I believe Shazam is the next one online, and it's currently being filmed. So it's on everyone's minds. With that said, his costume wasn't officially revealed over the weekend, but someone was able to snap a picture from a set photo from behind the scenes, and it leaked. There was two. There's actually one that released, I believe, last night, and then the one from over the weekend. The first one was a side picture. Sure, most of you have already seen it, where it's basically Zachary Levy from far, and you just see the side picture of Shazam's suit, and there's like it's Christmas time apparently, because there's like Christmas trees in the background. Uh, so yeah, my thoughts on it. Um, yeah, it's all right. I mean, I'm definitely one of those people who I like to wait for the final product, because if I judge it, because as of now, it doesn't look the best. I mean, I was actually kind of shocked, because I think the Superman costume, I think all the costumes for the DCEU actually as a whole have been really solid. Batman's costume for Justice League BVS, all that stuff is actually one of my favorite all time like costumes ever for a superhero movie. Especially for BVS, I like the BVS version of Batman suit better. They literally just ripped it out of like the comics as a mashup between like Jim Lee and Frank Miller's Batman. Phenomenal, I would use the term. Love that costume. Thinks he looks great. Same, but Superman though. Superman also looks cool. I like the textures they put on their costumes, and what's cool is I've seen all these costumes in real life, like the screen used ones. Because as you guys know, longtime watchers of the show, we've gone to W Warner Brothers Studios in California, and I was able to get up close and personal and even touch some of the like actual costumes that Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill were wearing. And so, with that said, these costumes are awesome even in real life. There's a lot of detail into them, a lot of stuff you can't even notice on screen. But this one literally just looks like red spandex from the photo. So they released another photo last night. Well, not officially released. There was another one that leaked from a set photo, and it showed the front shot. Now, the costume looks cool in the sense that it's the same style. It's basically like a mashup of the New 52 costume and the classic costume, or even like a mashup between the New 52 costume and the Justice League animated series costume. Not the Justice League like animated series from the Bruce Timm era, the new direct to DVD to Blu-ray movies, that one. But I mean, it looks like Shazam's costume. It's just it literally looks like Red Span. Like there's no texturing. There's nothing to give it like that oomph, that pop. So I'm hoping that like most stuff nowadays, we're in that you know, CGI VFX era. That in post they're gonna fix a lot of that, and maybe there'll be like permanent lightning streaks that's always going around him. Maybe they'll fix the coloring. They can do all kinds of stuff. I mean, especially you guys have seen Spider-Man suit, especially in Civil War. And obviously in Spider-Man Homecoming, but like even though he was wearing a practical suit, they went over it and did a lot of VFX and visual work with it. So I'm hoping it's that scenario, because as of now, although it looks like Shazam, it looks like a cheesy version of like it doesn't look you like if you see, Henry Cavill's Superman costume standing next to that Shazam costume, it looks like night and day. Like one looks like, oh wow, this is like a legit Hollywood studio crazy costume. The other one looks like, oh, this is CW. Although if it was CW, I guess it would be leather. Ayo! No, but yeah, as of now, I mean, it looks okay. It looks fine. I'm just hoping. I hope this is not the final product. Like, if it's gonna look exactly like that in the movie, I'll be a little disappointed, because even though, again, the overall color scheme, the patterns, that he has the cape, he has the lightning bolt in the right place, and even like the wrist guards and the boots, it looks good. I just that red spandex is killing me. So I know a lot of people. We posted it on on Twitter and stuff like that. And a lot of people were being like, Turbo Man? Turbo Man? So it's like that right there is telling you that everyone, no, not everyone, but a good amount of people were like, I need an official photo. And apparently, we're going to be getting an official photo soon. When? I don't know. But yeah, as of now, looks okay. But I need it to be more on that Wonder Woman, that Batman, that Superman level where it's the intricate detailing where this literally just looks like red spandex. Sorry, I spit. Yeah, look at that. Where this basically just looks like red spandex over muscle suit. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents on that. I'll talk about it more when they actually reveal an official photo that's more of how it's going to look in the movie. But moving on, Marvel's a big thing on everyone's mind because Marvel, as they are saying, quote, are having a fresh start. If you guys have been following any comic news sites or just on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, comic things like that, variant, you know that Marvel is rebooting yet again. That's right. In May of this year, Marvel will have all new number ones with all new creative teams in an all new direction. And that's literally a quote from an official video that Marvel released over the past week, I believe, or so. If you want to check that out, you can go to Marvel Entertainment on YouTube. And later, we'll actually put the link for that in the description below so you could watch it for yourself. It's like a minute and 30-second video with the heads of Marvel talking about the new direction and stuff. So, yeah, how do I feel about this? I mean, it's just it's no surprise that this is happening because Marvel has not been doing well in comic shops and with sales in general. I believe they only have had one book in the top 10 for the last several months, which is insane because when you break it down, Marvel and DC are obviously the largest market share for comic books. Like they're pretty much like what, like 40% each, and then the rest is like broken up between Dark Horse, Marvel. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. That's not exact numbers, but point is, they're pretty much they're the biggest market share. Without DC or Marvel, like if they were to go out of business, comics pretty much in general would almost tank because image and stuff isn't enough to support comic shops and all that stuff. So a lot of you guys have probably been hearing a lot of comic shops that actually have been closing down around the country because Marvel sales have been so bad. That's like half of the store's revenue because let's be honest, as much as I love Image, Dark Horse, and all that stuff, what do you think's bringing in the dollars? It's DC and Marvel because that's what everyone knows. So it's not shocking that they're rebooting it again, but it's just weird that like 5 months ago they kind of just did a reboot thing with Marvel Legacy, and they kind of did nothing with it. It's like they had this big thing where I did a video on it back then where I was like, okay, so this is going to be their DC Rebirth. They released that oversized issue just like DC did with DC Rebirth and nothing really happened. Like in the issue, they're like, okay, these are like the old versions of Thor and Iron Man and all that stuff, and Black Panther. And then they address some things like the Fantastic Four is alluded to coming back. The original Wolverine Logan is coming back, and they did some stuff like that. But then after that, it was like, okay, nothing. Like they didn't really do anything with it. So. I mean, they addressed some stuff in several other series, but again, they did nothing. They didn't really do anything with it like DC did, where it's like, no, this is a thing. It's going to be pushed through all the books. It's going to tie together in this book. This is like the end goal. So I don't know what's happening. So again, it's not surprising that they're rebooting again because they're at this point they're like, okay, no, we cannot have we're Marvel. We cannot have only one book in the top 10 every single month. It's just insane because I believe the December or January breakdown it was like 8 DC books, one Image book, which I believe was Saga, and then one Marvel book, which I believe was Spider-Man. That is insane. So freaking Marvel was in there with had one book just like Image, which Image is a massive publisher, but I mean, let's get real, they're not Marvel, they're not nearly on Marvel or DC's level. So that's all kinds of crazy. So I mean, I hope again, I'm just for good stories. I love Marvel like a whole lot. You guys can see it. I got Deadpool, I got Spider-Man in the background. I love Marvel a lot. So I want them to do well. They just haven't been doing well. And honestly, I've been reading a lot more DC because of it. So if you guys were to ask me, I know a lot of people are always like, do you like DC more? Or do you like Marvel more? Currently, I mean, I will say Batman is what got me into comic books. So I guess if I gun to my head, I maybe a little more partial to DC. I guess because of that, but I just really like good stories. So, if DC's having crappy stories, I'm not going to defend them and be like, okay, well, I'm going to read Marvel stuff because I just want to read good superhero stories. But unfortunately, Marvel hasn't been giving as a whole. I'm not saying they've been putting out complete crap. There's some stories that is a series of stories that have been good, but as a whole, I think the mass comic audience would agree that DC and the whole DC Rebirth initiative and Universe initiative has been slaughtering anything that Marvel has been doing the last year or several months or whatever you want to say. So, I mean, there's some interesting new creative teams though. I know Dan Slott is finally leaving Spider-Man and he's going to be taking over for Iron Man. That's going to be a new number one issue. So I'm curious for that because he's been on Spider-Man for I think 10 years, which is insane. Don't quote me on it, but off the top of my head, think I won't say it is, but I will say that is one of the longest times a writer has stayed on a single book. A decade. He wrote Spider-Man for a decade. Like, is there like any story he didn't get to tell with Spider-Man at that point? Like, that's just all kinds of insane. So he's going to Iron Man. Another interesting one I thought was really cool is Nick Spencer, the guy responsible for Secret Empire, is going on Spider-Man. That was another huge one. So that could be cool. I know they're kind of I'm just curious. This is going to be like an all new jumping on point. I'm just curious to see with all these new series starting at number ones, if they're going to do what DC Rebirth did, where they're kind of tie it to like the old legacy Silver Age stuff, where it's like, yeah, this is tradition and this is what our company is all about, or they're just doing number ones and kind of rebooting like the New 52 did. Because if they did that, I just see another reboot in a year or 2 from now. So hopefully this is the last reboot for Marvel for like a very long time because I think this is like the third one within like a 2, 3 year time period. I believe so. It's at least the second. I'm thinking it's three though. So you have Marvel now, then you had the one was it before or after? Anyway, I think it's like two or three. It's just insane. No one should be rebooting within like a 2, 3 year period. That's just confusing and no one because then the new readers are like, "Hey, I just started reading this," and then the old readers are like, "Why are you doing it again?" So no one likes that. So I mean, hopefully they do good. They're still announcing new creative teams, but in May when they start releasing some of these books, I will talk about it here. Obviously, I'm excited to read, especially like Iron Man, Spider Man, and all the new stuff they're going to be putting out for uh for all of that. But now, with that said, I'm gonna open it up to Q&A. Q&A. Those are the big topics of the week. But now I'm gonna let you guys ask me questions, anything I forgot to talk about or I'm gonna talk about. And so to you guys. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see what you guys. Someone's a lot of question marks here, huh? Do you let's see. Do you think Ultra Instinct Goku is multiversal threat now? I will say I'm behind on my Dragon Ball Super, so I can't answer that question confidently. I know he has this new power, but I haven't watched the several episodes with him using it. So I cannot answer that question. I don't know. Dragon Ball Super is kind of like a little meh with me right now just because I feel like back in the day when Goku or any, Vegeta would reach a new level, like it kind of meant something. It was like cuz you would have this big end goal and this big story leading to it, and it just felt like it meant more cuz it didn't happen as often. But now it's like every like what 10, 15 episodes he's reaching a new power level. It's just like how many it's just doing it just to do it now and I feel like it's not really being earned. So I will say that. I mean, I don't know much about the Ultra Instinct yet. I'll have to catch up on the episodes, but I will say I feel like it these new forms really don't mean much anymore. And I think a lot of people agree with me because I've been hearing a lot of people say that as well. But it's true. I mean, back in the day when the Frieza saga and Cell saga when all this stuff would happen, it's like yeah, that's cool. But now it's just happening like so much. Like he became like Super Saiyan God, right? With the pink red hair. Then he's like, all right, there's something stronger than that. Super Saiyan Blue. And now they're like, okay, now there's something. Then you had Super Saiyan. No, this is Goku Black. But then you're like, okay, now we got Super Saiyan Rose, was another new form, which of this alternate version of Goku, and then now you have Ultra Instinct. So it's just like, all right. And I believe like all that happened within like a year, year and a half. So it's just like, all right, man, okay, all right, slow it down a bit. All right, moving on. Dead Flash 7 says, favorite superhero show. My favorite superhero show. Probably The Flash. I enjoy it the most. I think it's just really fun. I don't think it's necessarily the best made superhero show. I just have the most fun watching it, and that's what I guess it really comes down to, right? Like, what do I look forward to the most to watch? Probably The Flash. It's really fun. I love Cisco so much. Cisco is such an amazing character that if he was ever to leave the show or they were to kill him off, I borderline don't know if I would watch it anymore. He's just hilarious. His funny remarks, the way he always names villains, and how like sarcastic he is to Wells and stuff all the time. He's great. Let's see. Dustin asks, "What do you think about Doomsday Clock?" I'm loving Doomsday Clock thus far. it has been really cool. I've talked about it a few times on the show, but I'll talk about it again since you asked. I'm really digging it. I think Jeff Johns, if anyone's gonna pull this off, it's Jeff Johns, and he's been proving it thus far because I believe it's 3 issues in. And spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler for the series. It left the last it left off that at least that I read. I believe this is the latest issue though, is where Batman locked Rorschach in a jail cell, the new Rorschach in a jail cell, and that was pretty cool. It's literally a sequel to The Watchmen, and it's just the way it's drawn by Gary Frank and the panel layout. It's just Watchmen for days. It's so good. And then it's just even just the way, like, I think by the second issue you see how they introduced the DC universe into the Watchmen universe, and it's like Ozymandias and stuff. He comes to this reality, and just the way they did it was like flawless. It's just very, very been done very well so far. Obviously, it's not even halfway through, but what I've read and what's been done thus far, all good things. When that comes to an end, obviously, we will be doing a recap episode of Doomsday Clock here on the channel, but that's probably not going to be till early next year because it's a 12-issue run, and I don't think the series is going to end till December and or early 2019 because pending delays. Because let's face it, delays in comics is a thing, and that very well could happen, especially with a comic this important, this important, and this massive for DC. So that's my thoughts on that. Nugget asks, Ready Player One movie thoughts. I'm so freaking excited for that movie. Yes, yes, please. I mean, first of all, Steven Spielberg. I mean, who do, doesn't everyone want to see a Steven Spielberg movie? So but I wouldn't say it's his return to blockbuster films, but let's just say he's doing another blockbuster film, and he's the king of blockbuster movies. He invented the blockbuster movie with Jaws. So yes, I'm all for that. Plus the fact that like the Iron Giant's in it, you see Deathstroke in one of the trailers, Harley Quinn's in it. There's just the DeLorean from Back to the Future's in it. There's just so many things that I'm probably missing. Just they're just like, you know what, pop culture, boom, in this movie. So I'm very excited for it. It looks really, really cool, and I will be seeing it. Maybe if you guys are that into it, and a lot of people are looking forward to it, maybe I'll even review it on the channel. Just let us know. You guys want it, we'll do it. You just gotta have you guys wanting it for us to do it, and then we'll do it. But yeah, I'll definitely be seeing that movie. Either way, let's see here. Joseph Perez asks, "Who dies in Infinity War?" Infinity War has been on everyone's mind, and I don't blame you. Uh, who dies in Infinity War? I was actually just talking about this. I personally think it's either going to be Captain America or Iron Man. I think one of the two. They're like the OGs of the yin and the yang of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not necessarily saying one is evil and the other is good. Just they're like the two heads, but they're kind of as of Civil War. They're button heads. They're not going into Infinity War the bestest of friends. Let's say that. So I think one of them does. I'm leaning more towards Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. I feel okay, yeah. So I think by the end of Infinity War, Tony Stark is dead. That pisses off Captain America. It's like, oh, we're fighting, we're not on good terms, but you were still my friend, and Thanos killed you. So that is a catalyst to lead into Avengers 4, and then maybe by the end of Avengers 4, Chris Evans or Captain America dies. Maybe that. I don't know, but someone's gonna die. That's all I know. Vision. I feel like that's almost like an obvious one. I mean, one or two things. Either they're trying to trick you in the trailer for what the brief clip they showed of him that's alluding to him dying, or two, he really is dying. So either that's a fake out and they're like, hey, look, Vision's gonna die, but he really doesn't, or they're just like, no, yeah, that's an obvious one. He's gonna die. He's got one of the gems. He's dead. So gems or stones, whatever you want to call them. I know some people would be like, it's not a gem, Arris, it's an Infinity Stone. So take your pick, gem or stone. um, Let's see. Fernando asks, "Do you think the Scrolls will be involved in Infinity War?" I hope so, man. I really hope so. I know they're confirmed to be and got concept art. They're confirmed and we got concept art for them to be in Captain Marvel. So maybe. I feel like there's going to be lots of surprises in Infinity War. I will say that. I think there's lots of things that we don't know yet, and we're going to be like, "What?" I think lots of villains are going to come back that we thought were dead that aren't dead. Red Skull being one of them. I think I told you guys that already. I think Red Skull is gonna make an appearance in this movie. Maybe some other past villains. I feel like they might even use this as because the Marvel the MCU villain problem where it's like okay they're one and done. They die. They always die at the end of whatever movie they're in. For the most part. So I think they might use this movie to be like, you thought they were dead. Nope. There's most of them are still alive because of reasons. So I think that route. I also know you guys may have known Ronan who we saw Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, set photos got leaked a while back where he was in the Ronin costume. So Ronin's either going to make an appearance by the end of this movie or Avengers 4. We don't know yet because I think I'm pretty sure they filmed them both at the same time. So I don't know if that was for Avengers 4 or for Infinity War. But that's another thing. I think there's just, again, lots of surprises are going to happen in Infinity War because they can't reveal everything. They've already revealed a lot, but I think there's some twists and turns waiting for us, guys. Some twists and turns. Jaden Wright asks, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" I'm assuming you're asking, "What do you think about Shazam's costume reveal?" I already talked. That's one of the first or second things I talked about. So when this is done, or now, you can rewind it a little bit to like 10 minutes in, and you would hear my thoughts on the Shazam costume. Let's see. Lee Roberts asks, "Adam Warlock, Infinity War." That could be. He could actually be in the movie. I feel like they might keep him for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but since he was alluded at the end of that, I mean, because I did hear somewhere, I forgot who said it, but one of the actors, whether I think it was Chris Evans or Scarlett Johansson, alluded to them being like 70 plus characters in this movie. So I guess in order to fill that out, you would have to have, some stuff like that where you have like the Red Skulls or the Animal Warlocks or some of the stuff they've been teasing that we really haven't seen yet. Bo Hartman asks, Jessica Jones season 2. Yeah, that comes out this one, March 8th. So what is that? What's tomorrow? That's tomorrow 7th. It comes out Thursday. So Thursday apparently is the reveal or the release of Netflix Jessica Jones season 2. I talked about it briefly last time, so I'm not going to get into it much. I will say though, I'm not that excited for the season. I really did enjoy the first season. I thought Purple Man made that season. Jessica Jones was also good in that season, but I haven't seen anything from the trailers of season 2 that's like, yes, I will watch at least the first 2 episodes, give it a chance, but I'm just kinda, yeah, I'm just kinda, whatevs on it. So, let's see. Let's see if they could change my mind. Alright, I'm gonna answer about 2 or 3 more questions, guys, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Let's see. Logan Halsey. I'm probably butchering your last name. I'm very sorry. Anyway, your question is, what's your favorite current indie comic? Current favorite indie comic. You know what just picked back up that I've really, really loved? I want to think or it's picking back up. Five Ghosts. I really love. I really love that title. But even before that, it's not currently out, but it's one of my all-time favorites because it's pretty much Alien under the water, under the water. Is oh my god, why is it? It's Scott Snyder. Oh my god, it's slipping from my mind. What? No way. It's one of my favorite books, yet I don't remember the name. Hold on, guys. I'm having the ultimate brain fart. Google will fix this. Why am I forgetting Scott Snyder's indie book? What the heck? Let's see. Let's see. Scott Snyder. That's embarrassing. You guys ever have a brain fart? Of course you do. Let's see. Water. It's about like a mermaids, evil mermaids. Not severed. The Wake. There it is. Boom. Wow. Man, I had a brain fart. The Wake. Jeez. Okay, so even though I didn't remember the name, it's still one of my favorite indie titles to come out in the last several years. The Wake. It's basically like the Alien movie franchise, but under the water. It deals with evil mermaids, and it's awesome. Very, very good. It's a new spin on mermaids. Very scary. Read it and enjoy. I'm gonna answer 2 more questions and get out of here, guys. Lee Mark Bates asks, Arris, who is your favorite Batman sidekick? My favorite Batman sidekick. I mean, I feel like Robin is the obvious answer, so I'm not. I'm gonna do someone else besides Robin. Um, favorite or more interesting? I would say Red Hood, just because I know he was a Robin, but he's so interesting. Him and Nightwing again. I say it all the time are like they fight for like my top spot of favorite Robin or favorite sidekick or whatever to Batman. But Red Hood, just because I feel like he keeps Batman on his toes because he's like good, but he's like he's not he's not above putting someone down in a very brutal way. He's not above it. So I think that makes him very cool. Just that constant like back and forth. If he's a good guy, but he's willing to cross that line when need be because at the end of the day, the only permanent way to put down a bad guy is to get rid of them. And, he believes that and stuff. So I think probably Red Hood. Although I love Nightwing as well. They fight it out. But right now, Red Hood. Plus, I just got Red Hood's Arkham Knight action figure at the last swap I did here in Texas. That cost, if they ever introduce him into the DCEU, make him look like that. Wanna know why? Because he actually has a red hood. That's something that always kind of annoyed me. He's called the Red Hood, but he doesn't have his helmet. Looks awesome. Don't get me wrong, but giving him like a red hoodie makes sense because Red Hood. That's just a personal thing with me. It's fine. Anyway, the Arkham Knight design for Jason Todd Red Hood is fantastic, and not like his Arkham Knight one where he's in the Arkham Knight uniform, like the actual Red Hood one where he's wearing the leather jacket and the red hood. Fantastic. Google it if you want to know what I'm talking about. It's great. All right, last question, guys. Then I'm going to get out of here until the next episode of Variant. I'm going to look for one that tickles my fancy, so to speak. Go out on a bang. Let's see. Dun 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 dun. Looking. Dun dun dun. Let's see. Dun dun dun. No, not that one. Texas. Henry Robinson says Texas, Texas, baby. Yeah, that's what's up. Even though still consider myself a Floridian, technically, that's where I was raised for like 20 something years. Baka baka baka. All right, all right. Uh, let's see. Looking. Do you hear Cruz? Let's Shady Gaming says, "Did you hear Tom Cruise might be playing Hal Jordan?" I did not hear that. Is that really a rumor? Is that a thing? There's no way. That would be crazy. Imagine Tom Cruise playing Hal Jordan. Oh my god. I don't even know how I feel about that. I don't get me wrong. I love Tom Cruise, but I don't know. Talking about out of left field. That's not a question though. Okay, for real. I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna pick one, guys. For real. Baga, 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 Flash of CW. Okay, Fet Force asks, "Are you excited for Solo?" That's topical. I'll talk about it. Solo. So, um, maybe. No. It looks okay. I guess. I mean, it looks like the trailer just looks like a Star Wars movie. Like you're not really looking at it and you're like, oh, this looks horrible. Like the trailer looks cool. The action looks awesome. All that stuff. That's my producer. He it is a sensitive subject for him. Solo. Um, I'm just much like him. Am very, let's say, not excited or not I don't know, pessimistic, I guess, about the actor who's playing Solo. I just don't feel like he is going to do the best portrayal of Han Solo. I could be completely wrong. I haven't seen the movie. I don't like to judge things before I actually see it. But if I had to, which is what a trailer is for, and what I guess you're asking, I'm not confident. I think his voice doesn't match like that man, because basically Han Solo is the Indiana Jones of space, right? Space cowboy, and it's played by the same person, Indiana Jones, Han Solo, Harrison Ford, yay! But I'm just not confident. I don't know, and there's been a lot with this movie, like the directors switched, it basically got all rewritten and reshot, and there's just a lot of stuff that went on with this movie. So am I excited? Eh, do I hope it's good? Of course. Why would I not want a good Solo or a good any Star Wars movie? But I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'll talk about either way. I'm gonna review it on the show, so you guys will hear my thoughts once you see it. But as of now, I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna see it at Star Wars. But I'm not like, put it this way, Infinity War. I'm like, yes, this could be the best movie ever. Solo, I'm like, yeah, all right. But with that said, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Remember to watch episodes, believe 9 and 10 of Attack on Titan, and then we will discuss on next Variant Live. And if you don't have a way of watching that, remember you could click the link in the description below. For Verve, you get a free 30-day ad-free trial premium membership to watch any anime on there. 30 days for free. Because Variant and Verve teamed up, and we like you guys. But with that said, I will see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.